Today is the anniversary of the Montgomery bus boycott.
And the semester is coming to an end, so stay tuned. TrojanVision News starts now.
From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network at Troy, Alabama's International University, this is TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision News for December 1st, 2015. I'm Courtney Chandler.
And I'm Casey Freeman. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Today marks the 60th anniversary of the day Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a Montgomery City bus, sparking a turning point in the civil rights movement. Today, people from all over converged on the spot where that famous arrest took place to celebrate the moment in history. This year marks the 60th anniversary of the Montgomery bus boycott, and the Rosa Parks Museum in Montgomery is holding many events this week in honor of the anniversary.
Today, on December 1st, we have complimentary admission all day today. So visitors can come and walk through the permanent exhibit. And then we also have a new gallery exhibit called the Montgomery Bus Boycott, a reflection of 60 years.
Along with the new exhibit, the Rosa Parks Museum also offered visitors the opportunity to recall and learn more about the 1955 bus boycott with 2 bus tours as well.
Visitors can walk through the bus and get a tour of the bus. Also, we have the C-SPAN bus, which features lots of educational activities related to the bus boycott and the civil rights movement.
Students have the opportunity to walk through this bus, which is similar to the one Rosa Parks was arrested on back in 1955. And one student talked about his experience here and why he feels that the history of the Montgomery bus boycott is still relevant in today's history.
It really felt surreal that this had actually happened, something so influential had happened in this city, because we don't really recognize how important our city is to the civil rights history of the country. So when we saw everything, it really meant something to us. It made us remember how far we've come.
If you didn't get a chance to make it to today's festivities, you can still check out the Rosa Parks Museum on Troy's Montgomery campus. It's open Monday through Saturday.
For its environmental efforts, Troy University has been recognized as a Tree Campus USA. And this afternoon, the school added to its tree-friendly efforts by adding another to campus. Ashley Brittikite has a story.
Trees, trees, trees. They're all around us and often go unnoticed, but they are especially important on Troy's campus.
The effort here is part of an initiative that we participate in for the last couple of years called Tree Campus USA.
According to Troy's grounds manager, the Tree Campus USA initiative is one of the most important and least well-known functions on Troy's campus.
The Tree Campus USA requires us to have a certain amount of funding dedicated to trees, whether it's some might be pruning for the health of trees, tree plantings. We have to have student involvement, whether it's on campus, part of the community, and a few other qualifications. And we have a standard, the Tree Campus USA, Tree Campus plan that we follow to protecting the trees.
The tree planting ceremony at New Residence Hall today signifies much more than 2 simple saplings being planted. It signifies the continuing devotion that Troy University has to the betterment of our environment.
We're constantly looking at trees and we're constantly pruning and we're doing things to help them thrive and, extend their longevity, if you will.
We'll keep planting trees, and we've done a lot of pruning to encourage the health of trees, safety to trees, and just continue planting and to continue being on a green campus.
Going into the future, Troy leaders are optimistic about continuing green efforts on campus. And the best part? They already have willing volunteers.
Yeah, most definitely. It didn't seem like too much work, but but we dealt with it, and it was a nice little time.
Ashley Brittikite, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Troy University was officially dedicated as a Tree Campus USA in March of last year. Today marks the last day of classes for Troy University, and that means students are getting ready for their final exams.
That's right, Casey. However, some students are probably already thinking about the long break between semesters. Joshua Lee hit the campus to get the student take on the end of the semester.
With the semester wrapping up, students stop to reflect on the semester, and despite some obstacles, it looks like Trojan spirit and determination are pulling through.
It's been a really good semester. It's been challenging, but a very interesting semester. I've gotten into some of my classes for my major, and those have been really great.
My semester went pretty well overall. I was struggling in one of my classes at first, but I was able to communicate with my professor, and we got me back on track.
My semester has been pretty good, just a lot of homesickness, that's it.
It's been a little rough because my teachers have been a little difficult, but overall I'll do pretty well.
I passed accounting, so that's good.
One student shows us how he really feels.
Like that. Pretty much like that.
The students have mixed emotions about the next semester. However, all of them seem confident that they will come out on top.
The next semester will be a little bit easier because it's spring semester, so it's not going to be as busy, but a great time to focus on academics and study.
Probably pretty hard because I'm picking up more hours, so I'm pretty nervous about that, but I think it's going to go well.
For me, it's going to be harder because I'm getting into my core classes, so I'll see how that goes.
I think my next semester is going to be perfectly fine, straight A's.
One thing all the students agree they need more of?
Resting.
And take a lot of naps.
Sleep.
Sleeping a lot.
For the most part, everyone had a pretty good semester. Right now, we're all drowning in homework and coffee, but everyone's flocking to the library for the last-minute cram session, which is what I need to do. Joshua Lee, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Troy's fall commencement ceremony will be held on Friday, December 11th at 10:30 in Trojan Arena.
And now taking a look at news from around the state, Alabama is ending its effort to cut off Medicaid funds to Planned Parenthood clinics after losing in federal court. Lawyers for the state and Planned Parenthood Southeast submitted a settlement agreement yesterday to a federal judge. In the agreement, the state says Planned Parenthood Southeast has been reinstated as a Medicaid provider.
An Athens-based rehabilitation and senior care center must pay more than $165,000 in back wages and damages for failing to pay overtime to workers. The U.S. Department of Labor says Athens Rehab and Senior Care violated the overtime and record-keeping terms of the U.S. Fair Labor Standards Act by requiring employees to start work before their shifts began.
A 25-year-old man faces charges of capital murder and attempt to commit murder in the fatal shooting of a pregnant woman. 25-year-old LaKoya Brown was shot Saturday at her home in Montgomery. Brown's unborn child also did not survive. Court documents show 25-year-old Raymond Woods was in an argument with Brown's boyfriend when a gunshot was fired. Still to come on Troy TrojanVision News, the Troy football team prepares for its last game of the season. Khadijah Torbert has the details coming up in sports.
And the latest information about the presidential campaign. More on that after the break.
Donald Trump threatens to skip the next debate, and Hillary Clinton talks about her strategy to defeat ISIS. I'm Craig Boswell in Washington. That's coming up.
This is Dr. Jack Hawkins. He's the Chancellor of Troy University and a veteran. One of his proudest achievements is serving those who serve and helping active duty military and veterans complete degrees that will build great careers. That's the warrior spirit, and it's alive and well at Troy University. Feel it at troy.edu/spirit.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
The Troy football team will gear up and hit the field one last time this season under Neil Brown's debut season as head coach. Coming off a 31-21 loss against Georgia State last week, the team will look forward to closing out their season with the win. The challenge this week for the Trojans are the Raging Cajuns of UL Lafayette. Ryan River has those final thoughts from head coach Neil Brown.
And really my message to our football team is
is we need to finish this year strong. I'm not pleased with what happened at Georgia State. I thought that was a game that we were capable of winning. I'm not saying that we're better than them by any means, but that was a game that we were capable of winning, and we didn't win it for whatever reason. And we need to finish this year. We got a chance to get another conference win, and we need to finish this year on a strong note. I think it's our senior class has done a nice job buying in. They've done a good job continuing to play hard, and I'd love to send them off with a win and going into our off season for the rest of the team.
On the defensive side of the ball for Lafayette, Brown highlights the weekly changes in schemes and recognizes a few Raging Cajuns that could pose a threat.
They're a three-down front team. They move around quite a bit. They're a little bit different each week as I've watched them over the last 3 days. A little bit different. I think their linebacker, Dominique Tovell, is a good player. I think he was second team All-Sunbelt last year. They've got a safety that transferred in, I think from Ole Miss. That's talented. They've got a linebacker that transferred from Arkansas that has made a lot of plays. They've got a bunch of really good-looking bodies up there.
With the final game of the season drawing near, a couple of seniors explain the importance of the matchup and the impact a win would have on the future of the program.
You end the year on a high note like that, you always have that momentum going into the off season and going into those summer workouts and spring camp and fall camp and just carry that momentum on into the next season. You'd rather end something on a positive note than end it on a bitter note, and having that to go with the whole off season, thinking about that's how it ended.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And, a win would just be, it's something, like I said, positive just to end with, to build going into the spring, the off season with. It'd be nice to finally play a game where everybody clicks and everybody's firing on all cylinders. And, we have yet to have a game where everybody plays to the best of their ability. And it'd be nice if that happened this weekend.
Ryan Renfro, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
The Trojans will close out its 2015 football season this Saturday against UL Lafayette. Kickoff is set for 4 p.m. at the Cajun Field of Louisiana Lafayette. Also looking to rebound from a loss over the weekend is the Troy women's basketball team. The team put up 93 points, but that wasn't enough to overcome the Belmont Bruins' 102-point victory. Going into the game tonight, head coach Chandler Rigby says the focus for tonight's game is on the defense with little research on opponent Nicholls State.
So it's very exciting. It's a place to be tonight. Nicholls State has a great coach, Doobie Plaisance. I've known her for a very long time. She's known for having great teams and just making the most out of the team that she has. This year she has some very good athletes on her team. We didn't study this team and memorize this team like we have many teams in the past, because after watching some film on this team, we know this game is about us and how well we have come along and played in defense. Our last game we scored 92 points but let the other team score 102. So, it's about defense and getting stops tonight, and that's what we're focused on.
The women's basketball team returns to the court tonight when Nicholls visits Trojan Arena at 5:15 p.m. And after the women's basketball game concludes, stay put in Trojan Arena because the action carries on when the men's basketball team takes on Southern Miss. Assistant coach Chase Richardson says the team is looking to carry the momentum of the win over North Texas into tonight's matchup.
We've won a couple, tough road games as well. At North Texas in the exempt tournament last week, gave a game away we probably thought we should have won, but throughout the course of the year that happens. Just hope it doesn't happen too often. So tonight's a good chance to rebound it, and like you said, build some momentum on our home court, because we're 500, 3-3 at this point, and our goal is to win at home, all home games, and if we do that, it'll be a good week for us.
The Trojans and Golden Eagles will tip off at 7:30 p.m. tonight.